Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode, we're diving into a powerful Stoic principle. Don't force anything in your life. We've all been there, trying to control every outcome, pushing too hard and stressing over things we can't change. But the Stoics teach us something different. Life flows more peacefully when we learn to let go and embrace what comes naturally. In this episode, we'll break down 10 essential lessons on how to live with more ease, presence and acceptance, less force, more flow. We'll cover everything from finding joy in the simplest things, practicing mindfulness, to the incredible power of silence and solitude. These practical Stoic insights can help you release stress and live with more clarity, confidence, and inner peace. If you find these lessons helpful, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button for more life-changing Stoic wisdom. Let's get into it. 1. Live fully in the present. Living fully in the present is a concept that resonates deeply with Stoic philosophy. In a world that constantly pushes us to think about the future or dwell on the past, it's easy to forget the importance of the present moment. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most renowned Stoic philosophers, once said, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." This profound statement reminds us that time is fleeting, and the only moment we truly have control over is the one happening right now. Many of us live our lives constantly thinking ahead. What's next on the to-do list? What do we want to achieve in the future? Or what went wrong in the past? We often miss out on the richness of the present moment because our minds are elsewhere. But living fully in the present isn't just about mindfulness. It's about embracing life as it happens, appreciating the small moments, and letting go of the constant need to plan, control, or fix everything. Think about the last time you were completely present. Maybe it was while enjoying a quiet morning with your coffee, or during a peaceful walk in nature. In these moments, when your mind is fully focused on the here and now, you experience a sense of calm and contentment that's hard to find when you're worrying about future outcomes or past mistakes. Stoicism teaches that this peace is always available to us if we make the conscious effort to focus on the present. In practical terms, living fully in the present means learning to appreciate the small joys of daily life. Imagine sitting by a window, feeling the warmth of the sun on your face, or hearing the laughter of loved ones. These are moments that might seem insignificant, but are actually where true happiness lies. When we focus on the present, we reduce stress and anxiety because we are not worrying about things outside of our control. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering comes from wishing things were different than they are, or fearing what might happen in the future. By focusing on the present, we free ourselves from this unnecessary mental burden. Take a simple example from everyday life: eating a meal. How often do you eat while watching TV, scrolling through your phone, or thinking about what you need to do later? Now imagine sitting down to a meal and fully savoring every bite, paying attention to the flavors, the textures, and the act of nourishing your body. This is living in the present. It's about immersing yourself fully in the experience, no matter how mundane it may seem. Over time, this practice helps build a sense of gratitude for the little things, which in turn boosts overall well-being and contentment. Another powerful way to live in the present is by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't have to be complicated. It simply means being aware of your thoughts, feelings and surroundings in the current moment without judgment. It's about letting go of distractions and focusing on what is happening right now. Whether you're walking, talking with a friend, or working on a project, mindfulness allows you to engage more deeply with what you're doing, which enhances both your experience and your effectiveness. However, it's important to acknowledge that living fully in the present isn't always easy. Life is full of distractions, and our minds naturally wander to the past and future. The Stoics recognized this and encouraged regular practice and reflection to cultivate this habit. Epictetus suggested that we ask ourselves regularly, what am I doing right now? And how does it contribute to my overall well-being? This simple question can pull us out of the autopilot mode we often find ourselves in and remind us to refocus on the present. A practical way to start incorporating this into your life is by setting aside time each day for a mindfulness practice. This could be as simple as spending a few minutes in the morning or evening in quiet reflection. Sit down, breathe deeply, and focus on the present moment. Let go of thoughts about what you need to do later or what happened earlier. By doing this regularly, you'll begin to notice a shift in how you experience your daily life. Less stress, more joy, and a deeper connection to yourself and your surroundings. Living fully in the present also means accepting that the present moment is all we truly have. The past is gone, and the future is not guaranteed. This doesn't mean we shouldn't plan for the future or reflect on the past, but that we shouldn't let those thoughts consume us to the point that we miss out on the life unfolding in front of us. When you start living fully in the present, you'll find that time feels richer, relationships become deeper, and your overall sense of peace grows. In conclusion, living fully in the present is one of the most important lessons from Stoicism. It encourages us to let go of unnecessary worries, embrace the moment, and find joy in the simple aspects of life. By practicing mindfulness, appreciating the small things, and focusing on what we can control in the here and now, we can live more meaningful, peaceful lives. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, while you live, while it is in your power, be good. Let's take this to heart and start living with intention, fully present in every moment. 2. Understand the impermanence of life. One of the most profound lessons in Stoic philosophy is the understanding and acceptance of impermanence. Everything in life, from our possessions to our relationships and even our own existence, is temporary. The Stoics believe that embracing this impermanence is key to living a fulfilling and confident life. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This stark reminder isn't meant to provoke fear, but to encourage us to live with purpose and mindfulness, knowing that nothing is guaranteed. Understanding the impermanence of life can be unsettling. We've all had moments when life feels stagnant, when we look around and wonder if we're truly living up to our potential or merely going through the motions. But what if I told you that in just 90 days, you could completely change the direction of your life? 90 days isn't some random number. It's the perfect window to break old patterns, establish new habits, and set a foundation for long-term success. In this episode, we're diving into a powerful 90-day plan that focuses entirely on you. It's not about doing more for others or meeting societal expectations. It's about aligning your actions with your values, rediscovering your purpose, and creating a life that feels fulfilling and intentional. Think of this as your personal reset button. Whether you're feeling stuck in your career, your relationships, or your mindset. These next 90 days can help you reclaim control and set yourself on a transformative path. Together, we'll explore actionable strategies, from auditing your life to mastering self-discipline, to ensure you're equipped with everything you need to make this transformation happen. This isn't about perfection. It's about progress. The next 90 days are your opportunity to focus on what truly matters, to leave behind what's holding you back, and to step into a more empowered version of yourself. Are you ready? Let's start building the life you deserve. One day at a time. 1. Audit your life. Before you can transform your life in 90 days, you need to understand exactly where you stand. Think of this as taking inventory. You can't navigate to a destination without knowing your starting point. Auditing your life is about being honest with yourself, evaluating what's working, and identifying what isn't. It's a process of reflection that lays the foundation for meaningful change. Start by asking yourself the big questions. Am I where I want to be in my career? Am I satisfied with my relationships? Is my physical and mental health where it should be? What areas of my life feel out of balance or neglected? Grab a journal or a piece of paper and break your life into key categories: health, career, relationships, personal growth, and mindset. Under each category, list what's going well and what could improve. For example, under health, you might write, going well, I exercise regularly and drink enough water. Needs improvement, my diet could be healthier, and I'm not sleeping enough. This process may feel uncomfortable at times, but honesty is essential. Remember, this isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. The goal is to see your life clearly so you can make informed decisions about what to prioritize over the next 90 days. Once you've done this evaluation, identify the areas that need the most attention. Ask yourself, what changes would have the biggest impact on my happiness and well-being? Maybe it's improving your physical health, strengthening your relationships, or advancing in your career. Write these priorities down and keep them visible. They'll serve as your compass throughout your 90-day journey. Next, look at your current habits and routines. Are they supporting your goals, or are they holding you back? For instance, if you want to focus on personal growth, but spend hours scrolling through social media, that habit needs to be reassessed. Identify the habits that align with your vision and those that need to be replaced. Auditing your life isn't just about identifying problems. It's also about recognizing your strengths. What are you already doing well? What qualities have helped you succeed in the past? These strengths will be your tools for navigating challenges and building momentum. Here is a practical step to get started. Set aside 30 minutes today to do a life inventory. Write down where you are in each key area of your life and what you'd like to improve. Be specific. For example, instead of saying, I want a better career, write, I want to switch to a career that aligns with my passion for helping others. Clarity is key. By the end of this process, you'll have a clear picture of your starting point and a list of areas to focus on. This step is critical because it allows you to approach the next 90 days with intention and purpose. Without this awareness, you're likely to repeat old patterns and miss opportunities for growth. Remember, this is just the beginning. Auditing your life is not about fixing everything at once. It's about identifying what matters most and taking the first step. By understanding where you are now, you set the stage for where you want to go. Because before you can create the life you want, You need to know the life you have. 2. Craft your 90-day strategy. Now that you've audited your life and identified the areas that need attention, it's time to turn insight into action. A dream without a plan is just wishful thinking, but a well-crafted strategy transforms your goals into achievable steps. This is where the real magic happens. Crafting your 90-day strategy is about taking control of your journey and creating a clear roadmap to guide you toward meaningful transformation. Start by focusing on your top priorities, the areas that, if improved, would have the biggest impact on your life. Maybe it's building better relationships, advancing in your career, or improving your physical health. Choose no more than 3 main goals to focus on during these 90 days. Why 3? Because too many goals dilute your focus and spread your energy too thin. Once you've identified your goals, break them down into smaller, actionable steps. For example, goal: improve physical health. Action steps: exercise 3 times a week, drink 8 glasses of water daily, and prepare healthy meals at home. Goal: advance in your career. Action steps: update your resume, take an online course to develop a skill, and network with industry professionals. Breaking your goals into manageable tasks makes them less overwhelming and gives you a clear sense of direction. Each small step builds momentum, helping you move steadily toward your larger vision. Next, create a timeline. Map out what you'll accomplish each week for the next 90 days. This helps you stay organized and track your progress. For example, Week 1, join a gym and complete 2 workouts. Week 2, increase workouts to 3 per week and meal prep for the week ahead. Week 3, focus on consistency and track energy levels. By assigning specific tasks to each week, you make your goals feel achievable and create a system of accountability. It's also important to anticipate potential challenges. Life happens. Unexpected events, setbacks, or moments of self-doubt are inevitable. Prepare for these by asking yourself, what might get in the way of my progress, and how can I overcome it? For example, if you know you struggle with time management, plan your days in advance and set reminders for key tasks. Here is a practical tip. Write down your 90-day goals and action steps somewhere visible. A notebook, your phone, or even a vision board. Seeing your plan daily keeps you focused and motivated. Consider tracking your progress with a checklist or calendar to celebrate small wins along the way. Each checked box or completed task reinforces your commitment and reminds you that you're making progress. Accountability is another powerful tool. Share your 90-day strategy with someone you trust, a friend, mentor, or coach who can encourage you and hold you accountable. Sometimes knowing that someone else is rooting for you can make all the difference in staying on track. Remember, this isn't about being perfect. Your strategy is a guide, not a rigid set of rules. Life may throw curveballs, and that's okay. Stay flexible and adjust your plan as needed. What matters most is consistency, showing up every day with intention and effort, even if progress feels slow. Crafting your 90-day strategy is like designing a blueprint for a house. The clearer and more detailed your plan, the stronger and more purposeful the foundation you build. By breaking your goals into actionable steps, assigning timelines, and staying accountable, you create a roadmap that turns your vision into reality. As you move forward, keep reminding yourself, every small step I take brings me closer to the life I want. With a solid There's something sacred about the first few moments of the morning. The way the world feels quieter. The way your mind hovers between sleep and wakefulness, open to whatever you feed it. And yet, for so many of us, mornings are rushed, reactive, and filled with habits that rob us of clarity, focus, and energy before the day even begins. What if the way you start your day determines everything else that follows? What if small, seemingly harmless choices in those first few minutes decide how productive, calm, and present you'll be? We often focus on what we should do in the morning: exercise, meditate, eat a healthy breakfast. But what about the things we shouldn't do? The habits that sabotage us before we even step out of bed? If you wake up and immediately reach for your phone, hit the snooze button, or flood your mind with negativity, you're setting yourself up for a day of distraction, stress, and exhaustion. These habits may seem insignificant, but over time, they shape your mental and physical well-being in ways you don't even realize. So today, let's talk about 10 things you should never do when you wake up. Habits that drain your energy, weaken your focus, and hold you back from being your best self. Because a strong morning isn't just about what you add, it's about what you remove. Let's begin. 1. Checking your phone first thing in the morning. The moment your eyes open, your mind is in its purest state, free, open, and highly impressionable. This is a rare window where your thoughts are unshaped by the outside world. A moment where you can decide the tone of your day. But the instant you grab your phone, you surrender that power. You let notifications, emails, and messages dictate your first thoughts. Before you even take a deep breath, your brain is flooded with distractions, stress, and the demands of others. It feels harmless, just a quick glance, just checking the time, but within seconds, you're scrolling, reacting, consuming. And the problem isn't just the wasted minutes, it's the effect on your brain. When you wake up, your mind transitions from deep rest into wakefulness, and in this state it is highly sensitive. Scientists call it the hypnopompic state, a phase where your subconscious is still active, making it a crucial time for setting intentions, creativity, and mental clarity. Instead, if you reach for your phone, you overload your mind with dopamine and anxiety before you've even left your bed. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for motivation and reward, is hijacked by endless notifications. Each new message, email, or update triggers a small dopamine hit, reinforcing the habit of checking your phone first thing. Over time, this conditions your brain to crave instant digital stimulation, making it harder to focus on deeper, more meaningful tasks later in the day. If you find yourself feeling distracted, impatient, or unable to concentrate, this could be why. You've trained your brain to seek quick, shallow bursts of information instead of the slow, deep focus required for real thinking. But it's not just about focus, there's also the emotional impact. When you start your day with external input, especially social media or news, you are letting the world dictate your emotions before you even set your own. A stressful email, a negative headline, or even a seemingly harmless comparison on social media can instantly shift your mood, making you anxious, irritated, or self-critical before your feet even touch the floor. You are reacting instead of creating. You are consuming instead of being. And that changes everything. So what should you do instead? Start your morning with intention. Even just 10 to 15 minutes without your phone can make a massive difference. Take a deep breath, stretch, sit in silence, journal your thoughts. Let your mind wake up before you bombard it with the outside world. If you absolutely need to check something, keep it brief and purposeful. The key is to own your mornings before letting the world in. Because here is the truth. The way you start your day is your day. If you begin it with stress and distraction, that's the energy you'll carry forward. But if you start it with clarity, presence, and control, you set yourself up for a day that is not dictated by notifications, but by you. It's a small habit, but it changes everything. P2, hitting the snooze button. It feels so harmless, just 5 more minutes. You tell yourself it won't make a difference, that you just need a little more rest. But then 5 minutes turn into 10, then 15, and suddenly you're in a cycle of waking and falling back asleep, never feeling fully rested. It's a small habit, but one that can have a surprisingly big impact on your energy levels, mental clarity, and overall productivity throughout the day. The problem with snoozing isn't just about losing a few extra minutes. It's about how it disrupts your sleep cycle. When you hit snooze, your body starts to drift back into sleep, entering a new sleep cycle that it won't have time to complete. So when your alarm jolts you awake again, you're caught mid-cycle, disoriented, groggy, and even more tired than if you had just woken up the first time. This effect is called sleep inertia, and research shows it can last anywhere from 15 minutes to a full hour, impairing your ability to focus, think clearly, and start your day with energy. Your brain thrives on rhythm and consistency. When you snooze, you're sending mixed signals. One moment you're waking up, the next you're trying to sleep again. Over time, this weakens your body's natural ability to wake up feeling refreshed. It also creates a mental pattern of avoidance, where the first decision of your day is to delay, procrastinate, and resist discomfort. And how you start your day matters, because that initial decision sets the tone for everything else that follows. But let's be honest, breaking the snooze habit isn't easy. Waking up is hard, especially if you're not getting enough quality sleep. The key is understanding why you're snoozing in the first place. If you constantly feel like you need those extra minutes, it's a sign that your body isn't fully rested. Maybe you're going to bed too late. Maybe your sleep quality is poor. Or maybe your body isn't getting the signals it needs to wake up naturally. Instead of relying on the snooze button, focus on improving your sleep habits. One of the best things you can do is set a consistent wake-up time. Even on weekends, your body operates on a circadian rhythm, an internal clock that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. When you wake up at the same time every day, your body starts to expect it, making mornings feel less like a battle and more like a natural transition. Pair that with exposure to morning sunlight, and your body will start producing cortisol, the hormone that helps you feel alert at the right time, reducing the urge to snooze. Another powerful strategy is placing your alarm out of reach. If your phone or alarm clock is next to your bed, it's too easy to reach over and snooze without even thinking. But if you have to physically get up to turn it off, you're already moving, already breaking the cycle. And once you're up, the hardest part is over. But perhaps the most important shift is reframing how you see those first moments of waking up. Instead of seeing them as a time of struggle, what if you saw them as an opportunity to start fresh, to take control, to embrace the discomfort and move forward anyway? Because waking up isn't just about leaving sleep, It's about choosing to show up for your life. And the way you handle those first few seconds says everything about how you'll handle the rest of your day. So tomorrow morning when your alarm goes off, resist the urge to snooze. Get up, stretch, breathe, and remind yourself you have a day to live. And it starts now. We 3. Staying in bed too long. It's tempting to linger in bed after waking up, to stretch, scroll through your phone, or just lie there staring at the ceiling. It feels like a slow, easy transition into the day. But the longer you stay in bed after waking up, the harder it becomes to shake off grogginess and fully engage with the world. It's a small habit, but one that can set the wrong tone. Have you ever paused, even for a moment, and wondered what truly makes life meaningful? What separates those who live with quiet confidence, peace, and clarity from those who constantly feel overwhelmed, stressed, or stuck in endless cycles of dissatisfaction? Imagine waking up each morning, not with a sense of dread or anxiety, but with genuine excitement for the day ahead. It might sound idealistic, maybe even unrealistic, but is it really, or have we just lost touch with a few simple yet profound principles that our ancestors once understood deeply, thousands of years ago? Philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus faced lives filled with uncertainty, hardship, and constant challenges. Yet, instead of being paralyzed by their difficulties, they flourished, finding purpose, strength, and inner peace even amidst chaos. How did they do it? What was their secret? Today, we're going to explore something timeless: 12 simple, practical Stoic habits that have the power to significantly improve your life. Starting right now. This isn't about lofty theory or abstract philosophy. It's about small, intentional practices that anyone can apply to their daily routines. Each one is grounded in the wisdom of thinkers who faced life's harshest realities and emerged stronger, wiser, and more fulfilled. But as we journey together, keep this one question in mind: what if the key to a happier, more meaningful life isn't in the big dramatic gestures we chase after, but in quiet, consistent habits that guide our thoughts and actions each day? Let's find out together. 1. Daily journaling, a dialogue with yourself. Have you ever felt like your mind is running in circles, replaying the same worries or thoughts without resolution? Perhaps you've experienced that nagging feeling of mental clutter, like having too many tabs open on your computer. What if there were a simple, ancient practice to help quiet this noise, one accessible to anyone, at any time? That practice is journaling. Now, when I say journaling, I don't mean recording every mundane detail of your day or trying to sound poetic. Instead, I mean having a genuine, honest dialogue with yourself, a chance to step back and examine your thoughts from a calmer perspective. This isn't something new. It's a timeless habit practiced by some of the greatest thinkers throughout history. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, famously kept a journal we now call Meditations. What's remarkable about these writings is that Marcus never intended them for publication. They were private reflections, reminders to himself of how he wanted to live. He wrote about patience, gratitude, and virtue, often early in the morning or late at night, reflecting quietly away from the demands of his empire. If the world's most powerful leader found value and clarity in journaling, perhaps we might benefit from the same practice in our own lives. Think of journaling as cleaning the windshield of your car. Throughout our days, we accumulate stress, confusion, and emotional buildup that clouds our perspective. Writing down our thoughts and feelings is like gently wiping away the fog, allowing us to see clearly again, revealing paths and solutions that were previously hidden. Science supports this ancient wisdom. Studies show that expressive writing, the simple act of writing down our thoughts without judgment, significantly reduces stress and anxiety, improves mood, and even boosts immune function. Yet the beauty of journaling lies beyond science. It's a powerful tool for self-awareness, emotional clarity, and intentional living. Journaling doesn't require hours of your day. It can be a simple 5-minute habit each morning or evening. Ask yourself, how am I really feeling today? What am I worried about? What am I grateful for? The key is honesty and consistency. You don't need elegant language or profound insights, just authenticity. Imagine yourself several months down the line, flipping back through your journal entries. You might notice patterns of behavior or recurring worries that seemed overwhelming at the time, yet now seem minor or manageable. This reflective practice fosters growth, resilience, and deeper self-understanding. Over time, you'll begin to see clearly the person you're becoming and the person you want to be. And perhaps most importantly, journaling strengthens your connection to yourself. In a busy, noisy world, this private dialogue gives you space to breathe, to slow down, and to check in with your inner life. It's an invaluable habit, quiet but profound, that lays the foundation for greater clarity and peace in your daily life. And speaking of clarity, there's another simple habit the Stoics relied upon, a habit we often underestimate, yet one that's remarkably powerful in freeing our minds and sparking creativity. Let's explore the transformative power of something as basic as going for a walk, to walking to free the minding. Have you ever found yourself stuck on a difficult problem, only to suddenly discover the answer while taking a casual walk? It's fascinating how something as ordinary as walking can have such extraordinary effects on our minds. This simple act of placing one foot in front of the other seems to unlock doors we didn't even realize were closed. Great thinkers throughout history have recognized this power. Friedrich Nietzsche once remarked, "All truly great thoughts are conceived by walking." Likewise, Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, valued walking deeply, believing it to be an essential daily practice that clears the mind and calms the soul. But why does walking work so effectively? One reason is that it gently distracts us from fixating on problems. When we're stuck at a desk, our minds can feel trapped and constricted, but once we step away and start walking, we allow thoughts to flow naturally. The repetitive rhythmic motion creates a kind of internal space, a quiet environment where our subconscious can freely connect ideas. There's science behind this ancient wisdom as well. Research shows that walking not only reduces stress and anxiety, but it also significantly enhances creativity and problem-solving skills. Even a short walk around your neighborhood or through a park can refresh your perspective, providing clarity and insight. Imagine a typical scenario. You're working on a project, and suddenly you hit a wall. You can't figure out how to proceed. Instead of forcing yourself to push harder, you decide to take a brief walk outside. As your steps gently carry you forward, your breathing slows down, your muscles relax, and your mind starts wandering. Without even realizing it, you've given yourself permission to see things differently. Before you know it, the solution emerges effortlessly, almost as if it had been waiting for you to take this quiet moment. Walking from a Stoic perspective emphasizes simplicity and presence, two critical components of their philosophy. The Stoics believed in finding peace by reconnecting with the present moment, letting go of distractions, and recognizing clearly what's within our control. By walking, we embody these Stoic principles. We slow down, pay attention to the here and now, and regain clarity. In today's busy, screen-filled lives, walking can feel revolutionary. It requires no technology, no special equipment, just a commitment to step away from constant demands. Yet the rewards are profound: greater mental clarity, reduced anxiety, and deeper inner peace. Tomorrow, when stress or confusion hits, remember how Seneca or Nietzsche might have handled it. Stand up, step away from your work, and go for a short walk. Observe how your thoughts shift, your perspective clears, and your energy returns. And speaking of gentle daily habits, there's another Stoic practice that emphasizes the power of small, consistent actions over time. Why is it that lasting success often comes not from dramatic efforts, but from quiet, steady progress each day? Let's explore that idea next. 3. Find small daily progress. The Stoic secret to mastering. Welcome back, seekers of wisdom. Today we're about to unlock a secret that could revolutionize your journey toward achieving your dreams. Ever felt like you're chasing your goals with all your might, only to see them slip further away? Well, the ancient Stoics were onto something when they preached the power of letting go. Buckle up as we delve into the paradoxical art of detachment, a concept championed by philosophical giants like Epictetus and Seneca, while our modern world champions relentless pursuit and unwavering focus. The Stoics understood that sometimes the key to attracting what we desire lies in releasing our grip. Picture this: a child chasing a butterfly. The harder they chase, the faster it flutters away. Yet when they stop, breathe, and simply enjoy the moment, the butterfly gracefully lands on their shoulder. This beautiful metaphor reflects the essence of detachment. When we cling too tightly to our desires, we create resistance, hindering their manifestation. But don't get me wrong, detachment isn't about giving up on your dreams. It's about transforming your approach from one of forceful pursuit to one of trust, allowing the universe to work its magic. It's about understanding that true power lies not in control, but in alignment with the natural flow of life. Get ready to expand your horizons and challenge conventional wisdom. We'll uncover the Stoic secrets to effortlessly attracting abundance, happiness, and success. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button and share this wisdom with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel for more insightful explorations of philosophy, self-improvement, and the art of living harmoniously. If you'd like to support us, we'd be thrilled if you leave a comment with "Keep it up" below. Lesson 1. Do your best and detach. The Stoic art of effortless manifestation. Alright folks, let's dive into a Stoic concept that's all about finding that sweet spot between action and acceptance. Do your best and detach. This isn't about being passive or giving up. It's about striving for excellence while letting go of the need to control the outcome. Think of it as a graceful dance between effort and surrender, the Stoic balancing act, effort versus attachment. The Stoics weren't about sitting around and waiting for fate to happen. They believed in taking action, in striving for their goals with all their might. But they also understood the importance of detachment, letting go of the need to control the outcome. Epictetus, The Stoic philosopher who knew a thing or two about overcoming adversity said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This applies to our actions as well. We should listen to the wisdom of the universe, to the signs and synchronicities that guide us, rather than trying to force our will upon the world. Real-world detachment, from job interviews to creative projects. Imagine you're applying for your dream job. You've polished your resume, aced the interview, and now you're waiting to hear back. It's easy to get caught up in the anticipation, to obsess over every detail, and worry about whether you'll get the offer. But this kind of attachment can create unnecessary stress and anxiety. Instead, take a Stoic approach. Do your best in the interview. Send a thank you note, and then let it go. Trust that the right opportunity will come your way. Whether it's this job or another one, the same principle applies to creative projects, relationships, and any other area of life where we tend to get attached to outcomes. Put your heart and soul into your work, but don't cling to the results. Let the universe do its thing. The power of surrender, opening up to infinite possibilities. When we detach from outcomes, we open ourselves up to a world of infinite possibilities. We become more receptive to unexpected opportunities, serendipitous encounters, and creative solutions. We stop forcing things to happen and allow them to unfold naturally. Michael Singer, a modern-day spiritual teacher and author, says, "The moment you stop trying to control everything, you can finally appreciate everything. By surrendering to the flow of life, we tap into a deeper sense of peace, joy, and contentment." Building your detachment muscle. Tips for letting go. So, how do you actually practice detachment? Here are a few tips. Focus on the process instead of obsessing over the end goal. Focus on the steps you're taking to get there. Enjoy the journey, not just the destination. Practice acceptance. Accept that you can't control everything. Some things are simply beyond your power. Trust the universe. Have faith that things will work out in the best possible way, even if it's not the way you initially envisioned. Cultivate gratitude. Appreciate the present moment and all the blessings in your life. This helps shift your focus away from lack and towards abundance. Surrender to the flow. Let go of your need to control and allow life to unfold naturally. Trust that you're being guided towards your highest good. Remember, detachment doesn't mean being passive or apathetic. It means taking action with intention while also recognizing that the universe has its own wisdom and timing. By doing your best and detaching from outcomes, you can create a life that's both fulfilling and effortless. So go forth and embrace the Stoic art of effortless manifestation. Let go of the need to control. Trust in the flow of life, and watch as your desires unfold in the most magical and unexpected ways. Lesson 2. Attract what you want. The Stoic law of attraction. All right, my fellow manifestors, let's dive into a concept that's both ancient wisdom and modern science. Attracting what you want by feeling like you already have it. This isn't about wishful thinking or pretending. It's about aligning your energy with your desires and becoming a magnet for the experiences you want to create. The Stoic connection, aligning with nature. While the law of attraction isn't explicitly Stoic, it aligns with their core principle of living in accordance with nature. The Stoics believed that the universe is rational and orderly, and that by aligning our thoughts and actions with this natural order, we can achieve harmony and fulfillment. In the context of attraction, This means recognizing that our thoughts and emotions are not just internal experiences. They are energetic vibrations that interact with the world around us. By cultivating positive emotions and aligning our energy with our desires, we can attract those experiences into our lives. Real-world attraction, from dream jobs to soulmate connections. Think of it like this: if you want to attract your dream job, don't just focus on the external steps, like updating your resume or networking. Instead, embody the feeling of already having that job. Imagine the excitement, the satisfaction, the sense of purpose you would feel. Let those emotions radiate from you, and watch as opportunities start to appear. The same goes for relationships. If you want to attract a loving partner, don't just focus on dating apps or social events. Instead, cultivate the feeling of being loved and cherished. Imagine the warmth, the intimacy, the deep connection you crave. Let those emotions fill your heart, and watch as the right person enters your life. The science and philosophy behind it, more than just positive thinking. This isn't just about positive thinking. It's backed by both science and philosophy. Quantum physics suggests that everything in the universe is made up of energy vibrating at different frequencies. Our thoughts and emotions also have frequencies, and when we focus on positive emotions, we raise our vibration and attract experiences that match that frequency. The Stoics believed that the universe operates according to a rational order, and that by aligning our actions and desires with this natural flow, we can achieve harmony and fulfillment. In the context of attraction, this means recognizing that our desires are not separate from us, but rather an integral part of the universal flow of energy. By surrendering to this flow and trusting in the wisdom of the universe, we can effortlessly attract the experiences, relationships and resources that are meant for us. Oprah Winfrey, a modern-day icon of success. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about 12 Stoic secrets for doing your best. And trust me, these tips are going to change how you look at challenges, work and even your own goals. Now, I know life can get pretty overwhelming sometimes, and it feels like there's just too much to handle all at once. Right, that's where Stoicism comes in. It's all about focusing on what you can control and letting go of the rest. Sounds pretty good, huh? In this episode, we're diving into practical, real-life ways you can use ancient Stoic wisdom to level up your mindset and your daily grind. We'll cover everything from how to stay calm under pressure to how you can turn failures into stepping stones for success. The best part, these are principles you can start using today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you're ready to learn some timeless wisdom that'll make life a little smoother and a lot more meaningful. Let's jump into it. 1. Focus only on what you can control. Alright, let's kick things off with one of the most important Stoic lessons. Focus only on what you can control. This sounds simple, but it's actually a game changer once you start applying it. Think about it. How much time do we waste stressing over things that are completely out of our hands? Other people's opinions, random events, or even things like the weather. We get all caught up worrying about stuff we can't change, and it just drains our energy. What can you really control? The Stoics were pretty clear about this. There are only 3 things you can truly control: your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. Everything else, that's out of your hands. You can't control if someone likes you, if you get that promotion, or if things go exactly as planned. But you can control how you show up, how hard you work, and how you respond when things don't go your way. Take a situation where you're working on a big project at your job. You can control how much effort you put in how prepared you are, and your attitude about the whole thing. But what if the outcome isn't what you expected? Maybe your boss didn't like it, or external factors affected the project's success. The Stoics would say, "Hey, you did your part. The rest wasn't up to you." That's the key. When you focus on what you can control, you free yourself from all that unnecessary stress about the outcome. The Stoic approach, internal versus external. Epictetus, one of the big names in Stoic philosophy, said it best: some things are in our control and others are not. Once you really get this, it changes how you deal with challenges. The more time and energy you spend on things you can't control, the more stressed out and frustrated you get. But if you focus on what's actually within your power, your thoughts, actions, and how you handle situations, you'll feel more in control and less weighed down by things you can't fix. In Stoicism, they break life down into two categories: internals, things you can control, and externals, things you can't. The trick is to invest your energy in the internal stuff and let the external stuff go. Sounds easy, but it takes practice. Life example: dealing with criticism. Let's say you get some harsh feedback from your boss or a colleague. Your first reaction might be to get defensive or feel like you've messed up. But here's the Stoic way to look at it. You can't control someone else's opinion or how they express it. What you can control is how you respond. Do you get upset and let it ruin your day? Or do you take a step back, evaluate the feedback, and decide whether it's useful or just noise? By focusing on what you can control, your reaction, you stay calm and clear-headed no matter how tough the criticism is. How to focus on what you can control. Here are a few ways you can start shifting your focus to the things you actually have power over. 1. Make a control list. Next time you're feeling overwhelmed, grab a pen and paper and jot down what's in your control and what isn't. This will help you figure out where to direct your energy. 2. Practice acceptance. If something is out of your control, like a traffic jam or a last-minute change in plans, practice accepting it without resistance. Fighting reality only makes things hard. 3. Reframe challenges. Instead of seeing every problem as a disaster, ask yourself, what can I do about this right now? This small shift helps you feel more empowered and less stressed. Real-life example, dealing with uncertainty. Let's talk about something we've all been through. Times of uncertainty. Whether it's a job market downturn, money issue, peace, a pandemic, or personal struggles. Life can throw some major curveballs. You can't control those big events, but you can control how you react. Take the pandemic, for example. So many things were out of our hands. Lockdowns, job changes, health concerns. But people who stayed focused on what they could control, like taking care of their mental health, building new skills, or finding ways to stay connected with loved ones, ended up feeling more grounded and less overwhelmed, letting go of perfectionism. A lot of us fall into the trap of perfectionism, where we feel like we have to control every little detail and get everything just right. But perfectionism is exhausting, and it's usually focused on things we can't really control. like how others perceive our work or how flawless the outcome is. The Stoics would tell you to aim for progress, not perfection. Do your best and be okay with the fact that some things won't go exactly as planned. It's freeing once you let go of the idea that everything has to be perfect. For example, if you're preparing for a presentation, focus on what you can control: your preparation, your delivery, and your confidence. Once you've done that, let go of worrying about how others will react. You did your best, and that's enough. Why focusing on what you can control helps you thrive? When you start focusing on what's actually within your control, here is what happens. 1. Less stress. You stop wasting time and energy worrying about things you can't change, which leads to a more focused mindset. 2. More productivity. By putting your energy into things you can actually influence, you'll get more done and feel more accomplished. 3. Greater resilience. Life will always have challenges, but when you focus on your response instead of the problem, you become stronger and better equipped to handle setbacks. 4. Conclusion. Focusing on what you can control. CAP. Freedom. At the end of the day, the Stoics remind us that our true power lies in controlling ourselves, our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. Everything else, that's up to the universe, and stressing about it won't change a thing. So, next time you find yourself getting stressed or overwhelmed, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, let it go. And if the answer is yes, then focus on what you can do right now to move forward. This mindset shift will help you feel more in control of your life, less stressed, and more at peace with whatever comes your way. 2. Do your best in everything, but let go of the outcome. Now let's dive into something super important: doing your best, but not getting attached to the outcome. This one can be tough to wrap your head around, because naturally, we all want good results. Right, but the Stoics had a different approach. They believed that while you should absolutely give your all in whatever you're doing, you should also understand that the final result isn't always in your control. And honestly, once you get this concept, it'll take a huge weight off your shoulders. Why it's so important to let go of the outcome. Think about how much stress comes from worrying about how things will turn out, whether it's a big work project, a relationship, or even something small like a social media post. We often get obsessed with what the result will be. Will my boss like it? Will I get that promotion? Will people think I'm smart or cool? The problem with that kind of thinking is that you're putting all your energy into something you can't fully control. The Stoics, like Epictetus, taught that you should focus on what you can control. Hey everyone, welcome back to Stoic Saga, where we explore timeless wisdom and practical strategies for living a more fulfilling and grounded life. Today we're diving into an incredibly empowering topic: the game of life and how to play it. This concept, drawn from classic philosophy and spiritual teachings, provides a roadmap for navigating life's ups and downs with confidence, clarity, and purpose. Think of life as a game, not just any game, but one where the rules are simple yet profound. The way you approach the challenges, opportunities, and even setbacks in your life can determine your overall success and happiness. In today's episode, we'll break down 9 key principles that will help you master this game, from understanding the power of your word to cultivating discipline, love, and intuition. These lessons will show you how to navigate life with wisdom and strength. If you enjoy today's episode, Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Stoic Saga for more insights on Stoicism and personal growth. And if you find this episode helpful, share it with your friends and family. It might be exactly what they need to hear. Now let's jump right into it. 1. The game of life. Life is a lot like a game, and understanding how to play it is key to finding fulfillment, success, and peace. But this isn't just any game. It's one where the stakes are high, and the rules can often seem unclear. However, once you learn how to navigate it, life can become a whole lot easier. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This reminds us that much of life's game is about mindset, how we approach situations, the way we react to challenges, and the thoughts we allow to shape our reality. In this game, your mindset is your greatest tool. Think of it this way: life isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about knowing how to respond to them when they come. Every challenge you face is a level in the game, and every decision you make is a move. If you approach these challenges with wisdom, patience, and a sense of calm, you'll advance in the game. But if you let fear or frustration take over, you'll find yourself stuck. Epictetus taught that we cannot control events, but we can control how we react to them. That's rule number 1 in this game of life. Focus on your reactions, not the events themselves. Let's think of a real-world example. Imagine you're at work, and a big project suddenly falls apart due to circumstances beyond your control. Many people might panic or point fingers, but in the game of life, you win by taking a step back, reassessing the situation, and calmly deciding the best course of action. Marcus Aurelius would remind you to look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will forever bubble up if you will forever dig. In other words, the solutions to life's problems are often within your control, but it's how you approach them that determines whether you win or lose the game. Another key aspect of the game of life is that you don't get to choose the cards you're dealt, but you do get to choose how you play them. Think about this. There are people who start with all the advantages, wealth, connections, opportunities, but they fail to make the most of them. Meanwhile, others start with almost nothing but manage to build incredible lives because they know how to play the game with the tools they have. Albert Einstein once said, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving." In other words, success isn't about having the best hand, it's about how you move forward with what you've got. This game also requires flexibility. Life throws curveballs, and just like in any game, the rules can change midway. One moment, everything is smooth, and the next, chaos strikes. The Stoics emphasize the importance of being adaptable, and Seneca advised us to throw me to the wolves, and I will return leading the pack. That's the kind of resilience you need in this game. No matter what happens, you adapt, you grow, and you keep playing. When life changes, don't resist it. Learn the new rules and find a way to win. One of the most interesting parts of the game is that it's not a competition against others, but against yourself. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, regardless of where you start or the obstacles you face. Buddha taught that the mind is everything. What you think you become, your inner thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes are what shape your experience of life. So, in the game of life, one of the most important things to do is cultivate a mindset of growth, gratitude, and resilience. Finally, Remember that the game of life isn't about winning in the traditional sense. It's about learning, growing, and making progress every single day. There's no final destination, no end game where everything is perfect. The process is the reward. The more you learn to enjoy the journey, the more fulfilled you'll be. Confucius wisely said, "It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop." In this game, persistence is key. No matter how tough things get, as long as you keep moving forward, you're on the right path. 2. The law of prosperity. The law of prosperity teaches us that abundance is more than just financial wealth. It's about living a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and gratitude. In Stoicism, prosperity isn't tied to material possessions, but to the richness of our inner lives and the quality of our thoughts. Seneca said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This reminds us that real prosperity comes from a mindset of contentment and knowing how to manage what we already have, rather than constantly chasing more. A key aspect of the law of prosperity is understanding that our thoughts shape our reality. If you constantly focus on what's missing from your life, whether it's money, success, or relationships, you'll feel like you're living in a state of lack. But if you shift your focus to what you already have and cultivate gratitude for it, you'll open yourself up to even more abundance. This doesn't mean ignoring your ambitions or giving up on financial growth, but it means recognizing that the foundation of prosperity begins within. Imagine someone who spends their life obsessing over wealth, always thinking that more money will bring happiness. Even if they achieve financial success, they might still feel unfulfilled if they've neglected other aspects of their life, like relationships, personal growth, or health. On the other hand, a person who lives with a mindset of gratitude for what they have, whether it's modest or abundant, finds a sense of peace and satisfaction. This is the essence of the Stoic belief that true wealth is measured by your ability to appreciate the present moment and find joy in what you already possess. One powerful example of this principle in action is the idea of giving. The Stoics believe that giving and receiving are interconnected, and the act of giving creates a flow of abundance. When you give, whether it's your time, resources, or knowledge, you create a space for prosperity to come back to you in unexpected ways. Seneca said, "No man was ever wise by chance." This reflects the idea that wise decisions, including acts of generosity, come from a conscious understanding of how the world works, not by accident. Prosperity isn't just about what you have, but how you use it. Let's take the example of someone who has achieved a high level of financial success, but is constantly stressed, overwhelmed, and feels disconnected from others. They may have all the material wealth in the world, but without emotional or spiritual well-being, they aren't truly prosperous. The Stoics would argue that prosperity lies in living in alignment with your values, knowing what truly matters, and using your resources, whether they're financial, emotional, or intellectual, to create a life of meaning. In the game of life, the law of prosperity also teaches us to trust in the process and have patience. Epictetus said, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time." Have you ever met someone who walks into a room and instantly grabs attention? Not because they're loud, flashy, or trying too hard, but because there's something about them that feels effortlessly magnetic. That silent attractiveness It's not about being the center of attention. It's about commanding respect and admiration without saying much. It's a kind of energy, calm, composed and deeply self-assured, that draws people in naturally. Being silently attractive doesn't require perfect looks or grand gestures. It comes from how you carry yourself, how you treat others, and how comfortable you are in your own skin. It's about mastering habits that speak louder than words, habits that project confidence, kindness, and self-respect without demanding attention. And here's the best part. You don't have to change who you are to cultivate this kind of presence. You just have to become more aligned with your best self. In this episode, we'll uncover 11 socially attractive habits inspired by Stoic wisdom. These aren't gimmicks or quick fixes. They're timeless principles that help you build inner strength, emotional intelligence, and a quiet confidence that makes people respect and admire you without you even trying. We're talking about embracing independence, mastering silent elegance, cultivating wisdom, and becoming someone whose presence alone leaves a lasting impression. By the end of this episode, you'll realize that true attractiveness isn't something you chase. It's something you cultivate from within. It's quiet, it's steady, and once you master it, you'll see how powerful it can be in transforming not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. So let's get started. Because becoming silently attractive isn't about making noise. It's about making an impact without needing to shout. Habit 1. Embrace your authentic independence. There's a certain power in those who don't need others to validate their worth. A quiet strength that's impossible to ignore. Authentic independence isn't about closing yourself off or proving you don't need anyone. It's about living life on your terms, being guided by your own values, and finding fulfillment in who you are, not in how others perceive you. This kind of independence is magnetic because it sends a clear, unspoken message: I respect myself, and I don't need external approval to feel whole. People are naturally drawn to those who stand strong in their individuality. In a world where so many are caught up in comparison and chasing validation, authentic independence is rare. It's refreshing, it's inspiring. When you're truly independent, you're not trying to keep up with anyone. You're focused on your own path, your own progress, and that quiet focus speaks louder than any words ever could. You don't have to tell people you're confident. They'll feel it. You don't have to announce that you're in control of your life. It'll show in the way you carry yourself, in your calm presence, and in your unshakable demeanor. But let's be real. Independence isn't easy. It means trusting yourself when no one's cheering you on. It means standing by your choices even when they're unpopular. It's about learning to enjoy your own company, not because you're avoiding others, but because you genuinely find peace within yourself. And when you reach that point, when you stop needing external noise to feel whole, you become someone others respect, admire, and are quietly drawn to. Authentic independence is the opposite of arrogance. It doesn't say, I don't need anyone. Instead, it says, I'm strong enough on my own, and that's why I can truly connect with others. It's about being whole so that your relationships are built on mutual respect, not dependence, and that's what makes it so attractive. It's grounded, balanced, and quietly powerful. To cultivate this habit, start by reflecting on your values. Ask yourself, am I living according to what truly matters to me? Or am I being driven by what others expect of me? Independence begins when you start making choices aligned with your inner compass rather than external pressures. Spend time alone, not out of loneliness, but to reconnect with who you are. Whether it's taking a walk, journaling, or simply sitting in silence, these moments strengthen your sense of self. When you cultivate authentic independence, you don't have to seek attention. It finds you. People will notice the calm confidence in your presence, the quiet assurance in your actions, and the unwavering strength in your character. You won't need to be the loudest in the room to be noticed. You'll be respected because you've built a life that reflects who you truly are. And that's something rare and deeply attractive. Embracing your independence doesn't mean you don't value relationships. It means you value yourself enough to build connections based on trust and mutual respect, not on neediness, and that's what makes you silently magnetic. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's the kind of confidence that lingers, leaves an impression, and quietly inspires others to do the same. Habit 2. Master the art of silent elegance. Sometimes the most powerful statement is made without words. Silent elegance is the ability to carry yourself with grace, poise, and quiet confidence in every situation. It's about how you move, how you interact, and the energy you project. You don't need to dominate conversations or be the loudest person in the room to command attention. Silent elegance speaks for itself. It's subtle, refined, and endlessly captivating. Think about someone who walks into a room with a calm, assured presence. They don't have to announce themselves, yet people can't help but notice them. This is the essence of silent elegance. It's a combination of composure, thoughtful actions, and respectful behavior. The way you carry yourself creates a lasting impression, often more powerful than anything you could say. It starts with body language. Confidence isn't just in your words, it's in how you stand, how you walk, and how you hold yourself. A relaxed, upright posture with steady eye contact shows self-assurance without arrogance. You don't need exaggerated movements or nervous gestures. Simplicity is key. When your body language communicates calm and control, people are naturally drawn to you. Silent elegance is also reflected in your manners. Courteous behavior, greeting others warmly, listening attentively, and being mindful of how you treat those around you, shows respect and self-respect. It's not about being overly formal or distant. It's about bringing a quiet grace to your interactions. People remember how you make them feel, and silent elegance leaves them feeling respected and valued. Beyond body language and manners, silent elegance is about restraint. Ever feel like you're constantly battling life, trying to force things to go your way? What if I told you there's a more effortless path to success? Today we're diving deep into the Stoic art of letting go, trusting the universe's timing, and unlocking true abundance. Get ready to ditch the struggle and step into the flow. If you find value in this video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up, and keep it up in the comments below. Let's get started. Lesson 1. Understanding the universe's guidance, tapping into the cosmic flow. The universe, my friends, is not some distant, cold entity. It's a vibrant, dynamic force that's constantly interacting with us, guiding us, nudging us towards our true path. The Stoics called this the Logos, the underlying reason and order of the universe. It's like a cosmic GPS, always recalculating, always leading you towards your destination. Now you might be thinking, how do I tap into this cosmic guidance? How do I hear the whispers of the universe amidst the noise of everyday life? Well, the first step is simple. Believe that the universe is wise, that it has your back, and that it's constantly sending you signals. It's like having a personal cheerleader in the cosmos, rooting for your success. Pay attention to synchronicities. Ever had one of those days where everything just seems to fall into place? You run into an old friend who offers you a job lead, or you stumble upon a book that perfectly answers a question you've been pondering. These aren't just coincidences. My friends, these are synchronicities. Meaningful coincidences that are the universe's way of saying, hey, you're on the right track. Trust your gut. That little voice inside you. That intuition. That's the universe speaking directly to you. It's your inner compass, guiding you towards your true north. When you feel that pull, that nudge, don't ignore it. Follow it. It's the universe leading you to where you're meant to be. Let's bring this into the 21st century. Imagine you're scrolling through social media and you see a post about a workshop that perfectly aligns with your interests. Or maybe you're feeling stuck in your career, and then, out of the blue, you receive an email about a new opportunity. These are the universe's whispers. Its way of guiding you towards your goals. But here's the kicker. Understanding the universe's guidance isn't about control. It's about surrender. It's about letting go of the need to micromanage every aspect of your life and trusting that the universe has a bigger plan for you. It's like being in a canoe on a river. You can paddle furiously, trying to control every twist and turn, or you can relax, trust the current, and enjoy the ride. So how do you surrender? Embrace uncertainty. The universe loves to surprise us. Let go of the need to know all the answers and be open to the unexpected. Practice mindfulness. Be present in the moment. Pay attention to your thoughts and feelings, and notice the subtle signs the universe is sending you. Take action. The universe can only guide you if you're willing to move. So follow those nudges. Take that leap of faith, and watch as the universe unfolds its magic. Remember, my friends, you're not alone on this journey. The universe is your ally, your guide, your biggest supporter. So open your heart, trust the process, and let the universe lead you towards unimaginable success. Lesson 2. Embracing stillness in daily life. Finding your oasis in the chaos. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, stillness can feel like a rare commodity. We're constantly bombarded with notifications, deadlines, and to-do lists. It's like we're on a never-ending treadmill, always rushing, always striving, always doing. But amidst all this chaos, there's a hidden power in stillness. It's in those quiet moments that we can truly connect with ourselves, with the universe, and with our true purpose. The ancient Stoics understood this well. They believed that true wisdom and happiness come from living in accordance with nature, and that includes embracing the natural rhythms of the universe. It's about finding a balance between action and stillness, between doing and being. Now, you might be thinking, how can I possibly find stillness in my crazy, hectic life? Trust me, it's easier than you might think. It's not about escaping to a remote mountaintop or meditating for hours on end. It's about finding small pockets of peace throughout your day. even in the midst of the busiest schedule. Here are a few ideas to get you started. Morning ritual. Start your day with a few minutes of quiet contemplation before you check your phone or dive into your to-do list. Take a few deep breaths. Set an intention for the day and simply be present. Mindful moments throughout your day. Take short breaks to check in with yourself. Notice your breath, your body sensations, and your thoughts. This will help you stay grounded and centered, even when things get hectic. Digital detox. Set aside some time each day to disconnect from technology. Turn off your phone, close your laptop, and step away from the screens. Use this time to read, journal, or simply enjoy the silence. Nature walks. Spending time in nature is a wonderful way to find stillness. Take a walk in the park, sit by a lake, or simply observe the trees and flowers. Nature has a way of calming the mind and soothing the soul. Let's bring this into your everyday life. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. Instead of getting frustrated, take a few deep breaths and focus on the present moment. Or maybe you're waiting in a long line at the grocery store. Use that time to practice mindfulness, observing your surroundings and the people around you without judgment. Remember, stillness is not about being unproductive. It's about creating space for clarity, creativity, and intuition. It's in those quiet moments that the universe can whisper its guidance, and you can tap into your own inner wisdom. So embrace stillness, my friends. Find your oasis in the chaos. Make it a priority in your life and watch as it transforms your relationship with yourself, with the universe, and with success itself. Remember, the universe is not in a hurry. It operates on its own divine timing. So slow down, breathe, and trust the process. When you're in alignment with the universe, success will flow to you effortlessly. If you liked this video or found it useful, don't forget to hit the like button. Share it with your family and friends. Every day we encounter a sea of faces, each one carrying a story that could fill volumes. Yet, despite our close quarters, true understanding of those around us often remains just out of reach. What if I told you that beneath the myriad expressions of those you meet lies a common thread, a Stoic wisdom as old as time itself? Today, we dive deep into the minds and hearts of those around us, not just to see, but to understand. We are exploring the 10 essential truths about people. Truths that Stoicism teaches us are not weaknesses, but profound strengths. These insights offer not just knowledge, but the power to transform how we interact, how we meet challenges, and how we forge connections. Join me and let's unravel the mysteries of human nature together, discovering how the ancient philosophy of Stoicism still lights our path in the modern world. If you appreciate the unique insights we're sharing here and want to support the channel, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Also, don't skip any part of this video. Consider yourself an exception from the majority, ready to embrace a perspective that could genuinely reshape your understanding of life. Number 1, everyone's shaped by their experiences. Every one of us is like a book, each chapter written by the experiences we've endured and witnessed. It's fascinating when you think about it, how every interaction, every moment of our lives layers upon the last to shape who we are today. Stoicism teaches us that it's not these experiences themselves that define us, but our reaction to them. This ancient philosophy encourages us to see life as a forge for our character, where each challenge, each joy and setback molds us more firmly. Take, for instance, someone who has faced great adversity. They might approach the world with a mix of caution and resilience, not because they are naturally distrustful or strong, but because their experiences have taught them both the fragility and robustness of human nature. On the other hand, someone raised in a more sheltered environment might navigate the world with a sense of bold optimism. Each perspective isn't just a personal trait, but a reflection of the journey they've walked. Understanding this can be transformative in how we interact with others. When someone reacts in a way that puzzles us, maybe they're overly cautious or perhaps unusually aggressive, it's helpful to consider the unseen forces shaping that behavior. Just as the Stoics suggest, by focusing on the present and controlling our reactions rather than being led by them, we can foster more meaningful interactions. We begin to respond not just to the surface emotions of others, but to the deeper currents that drive them. This approach doesn't just enrich our understanding of others, it enhances our empathy, allowing us to navigate complex social landscapes with grace and wisdom. It encourages a kind of emotional intelligence that is deeply rooted in both Stoic philosophy and modern psychological thought, a blend of ancient wisdom and contemporary insight that empowers us to lead more fulfilling lives. If you appreciate the unique insights we're sharing here and want to support the channel, a simple free favor I'll ask from you is to hit the subscribe button. Also, don't skip any part of this video. Consider yourself an exception from the majority, ready to embrace a perspective that could genuinely reshape your understanding of life. Number 2, diverse communication styles. Communication, much like the ebb and flow of a river, varies greatly from person to person. Some individuals are like the rushing waters, direct and forceful in their expression, while others resemble a gentle stream, subtle and nuanced in their approach. This diversity in communication styles can be a rich tapestry that enhances our interactions, but it can also be a source of confusion and misunderstanding if not navigated wisely. Stoicism teaches us the value of understanding and adapting to the varied styles. The Stoics believe that the key to effective interaction lies in our ability to listen and respond appropriately, not just in the words we choose to use. For example, someone who communicates directly values transparency and may perceive indirectness as evasive or insincere. Conversely, those who prefer a more subtle approach might find direct communication brash or overwhelming. By recognizing these differences, we can tailor our approach to better align with the person we are speaking to. This is not just about altering our style to mimic theirs, but about creating a bridge of understanding that allows for clearer, more effective exchanges. It's about acknowledging that behind every communication style is a set of beliefs, experiences, and cultural backgrounds that shape how a person presents their thoughts and feelings. Embracing this Stoic approach doesn't mean suppressing our natural style. Rather, it encourages us to be more mindful and intentional in our interactions. It teaches us that the goal of communication is not to win an argument or to impress, but to connect and understand. By fostering this understanding, we not only prevent misunderstandings, but also enrich our relationships, making our social interactions smoother and more meaningful. Next time you find yourself puzzled by someone's indirect hints or taken aback by their blunt honesty, remember the wisdom of Stoicism. Consider not just what is being communicated, but how and why the person is communicating in that way. This deeper insight can transform simple conversations into opportunities for connection and growth, reflecting the true art of communication as envisioned by the Stoics. Number 3, varied responses to stress. Stress affects everyone differently. Some of us react to stress like a storm, loud and intense, while others may respond more like a drizzle, withdrawing quietly and introspectively. These varied responses to stress are not just random reactions, but are deeply ingrained in our personalities, experiences, and even our biology. Stoicism offers a profound insight into managing stress. The Stoics remind us that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. This teaching is crucial when we consider the spectrum of stress responses. For someone who becomes confrontational under stress, the Stoic practice of reflection and restraint can be a guide to temper their reactions. Similarly, for those who withdraw, Stoicism encourages a mindful assessment of their internal state and a proactive approach to addressing their concerns rather than retreating passively. By recognizing these patterns in ourselves and others, we can foster a more supportive environment, especially in stressful situations. This involves not only managing our own responses, but also helping others handle their stress more effectively. Welcome to Stoic Saga channel. In today's video, we're continuing our self-development series from the previous episodes. If you're new here or missed the last one, you can check out all the episodes in the playlist that will pop up at the end of this video. These lessons aren't just educational content, they're a daily, all-encompassing approach to life. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. If you're digging this series, show some love by liking the video and dropping a keep it up in the comments below. Life is much like an elaborate banquet, where each moment offers us a variety of experiences and flavors. Just as a gourmet meal requires careful attention to ingredients, preparation, and presentation, living a fulfilling life demands mindfulness, variety, and balance. This metaphor extends beyond mere enjoyment of moments to embracing life's richness, just as one would savor each bite of a well-prepared dish. In this grand feast, the menu is diverse, featuring love, joy, pain, sorrow, success, and failure. How we choose and savor these experiences defines our overall satisfaction and growth. Epicurus, the ancient philosopher, emphasized that while pleasure is essential, moderation is crucial. This idea of selective indulgence can help us avoid the life coma, the state of being overwhelmed by excessive or unbalanced experiences. Moreover, savoring life involves slowing down and being present. Poet Rumi's advice, "Let the beauty of what you love be what you do," echoes this sentiment. It's about finding joy in simple things, appreciating the present, and truly experiencing the richness of life. Mindfulness, much like mindful eating, requires us to pay attention to the present moment, our thoughts, and our emotions, allowing us to fully engage with life's banquet. Diversity in experiences, akin to variety in a meal, is also vital. Embracing different cultures, trying new activities, and stepping out of our comfort zones enrich our lives. The phrase "variety is the spice of life" aptly captures this notion, reminding us to seek out and appreciate the multitude of experiences available to us. However, moderation remains key. Just as overindulging in food can lead to discomfort, overindulging in any aspect of life can result in burnout or dissatisfaction. Finding a balance that works for us ensures we enjoy life's offerings without detrimental effects. Additionally, sharing our experiences with others enhances our enjoyment and creates meaningful connections, aligning with Aristotle's view that humans are inherently social beings. Real-world examples illustrate these concepts. The adventurous traveler immerses themselves in local cultures, savoring each unique experience. The passionate artist creates for joy and expression, not merely for fame. The lifelong learner constantly seeks new knowledge, viewing life as a continuous journey of growth. These examples show that by practicing mindful living, embracing variety, and sharing our experiences, we can turn life's banquet into a truly fulfilling feast. Now let's get started. Lesson 1: The Banquet of Life, your philosophical guide to feasting without the food coma. Alright folks, let's talk about life as a banquet. No, we're not talking about an all-you-can-eat buffet or a fancy 5-course meal, although those can be pretty awesome. We're talking about the metaphor of life as a feast, a rich and varied experience filled with flavors, textures, and aromas. The menu of life. Life offers us a vast menu of experiences: love, joy, pain, sorrow, success, failure, and everything in between. It's up to us to choose what we want to sample, how much we want to indulge, and how we want to savor each bite. As the philosopher Epicurus put it, pleasure is the beginning and end of the blessed life. But he also emphasized the importance of moderation and choosing pleasures wisely. The art of savoring. Just like a good meal, life is meant to be savored. It's not about rushing through each course or gorging ourselves on empty calories. It's about slowing down, paying attention to the flavors and textures, and appreciating the experience as a whole. As the poet Rumi said, "Let the beauty of what you love be what you do." In other words, find joy in the simple things, i.e., appreciate the present moment, and savor the richness of life. The philosophical foodie. 1. Mindful eating, living. Just like mindful eating, where we pay attention to the taste, texture, and aroma of our food. Mindful living involves paying attention to the present moment, our thoughts, our emotions, and our experiences. 2. Variety is the spice of life. Don't limit yourself to a single flavor or cuisine. Explore different cultures, try new things, and step outside your comfort zone. As the saying goes, variety is the spice of life. 3. Moderation is key. Just like overindulging in food can lead to a food coma, overindulging in any aspect of life can lead to burnout, addiction, or unhappiness. Find a balance that works for you and enjoy everything in moderation. 4. Sharing is caring. A meal is best enjoyed when shared with others. The same goes for life. Connect with loved ones, build meaningful relationships, and contribute to your community. As the philosopher Aristotle put it, man is by nature a social animal. Real-world examples. Let's explore how this concept is applied in daily life. The adventurous traveler. The adventurous traveler doesn't just visit tourist attractions. They immerse themselves in the local culture, try new foods, learn new languages, and connect with people from different backgrounds. The passionate artist. The passionate artist doesn't just create art for fame or fortune. They create art for the sheer joy of expression, for the thrill of exploring new ideas, and for the satisfaction of sharing their work with others. The lifelong learner. The lifelong learner doesn't just go to school to get a degree. They're constantly seeking out new knowledge, new skills, and new experiences. They see life as a never-ending journey of learning and growth. The bottom line, life is a banquet, but it's up to us to make it a feast. By practicing mindful living, embracing variety, practicing moderation, and sharing our experiences with others, we can savor the richness of life and create a truly fulfilling experience. As the philosopher Epicurus put it, the wealth required by nature is limited and is easy to procure, but the wealth required by vain ideals. How often do you hear the phrase "live life to the fullest" and wonder exactly what that means? Society constantly tells us how to live. Follow the rules, seek success, chase happiness. But what if living life to the fullest goes beyond these conventional ideas? What if the path to truly enjoying your life lies in embracing the raw, unfiltered moments, shedding the illusions, and daring to create your own meaning instead of waiting for it to show up? In today's episode, we're diving into 10 unconventional ways to live a life that feels alive. Not by following the usual advice, but by challenging the norms and embracing the chaos, uncertainty, and depth that life has to offer. Ready to break free from the expectations and truly live? Let's get started. 1. Stop worshipping meaning. Create it instead. How often have you found yourself obsessing over finding the meaning of life? We've all been taught that the purpose of life is something you need to discover, as if it's a hidden treasure just waiting to be unearthed. We search for it in books, religions, relationships, and achievements, believing that once we find it, everything will fall into place. But here's the truth. Meaning isn't something that's given to us. It's something we actively create through our actions, relationships, and mindset. The constant search for meaning often leaves us feeling empty because it places our happiness and purpose outside of ourselves, as something we need to find. We look for signs, signals, or deep moments of clarity to confirm our sense of purpose. But in doing so, we ignore the truth. We have the power to create our own meaning every single day. Life isn't about uncovering some grand universal truth. It's about deciding what your life means to you right now, in this very moment. The Stoics understood this well. They didn't wait for meaning to come to them. They understood that life's purpose is built through the choices we make, the relationships we form, and how we live our values day in and day out. Seneca, for instance, encouraged people to live in alignment with their values and virtues, because that's where true meaning is found. Not in external achievements or societal validation, but in how we show up and live authentically. So how can you start creating meaning in your life today? Instead of asking, "What is the meaning of life?" ask yourself, "What meaning can I create today?" Focus on the actions and decisions that bring you closer to your values. Start small in your interactions, in the work you do, in the way you spend your time. Meaning is not something to search for, it's something to build. You can start by infusing purpose into even the smallest of moments. Choose to help others, express gratitude, challenge yourself, and embrace growth. By doing so, you create a life rich with meaning. No waiting required. Imagine today, instead of searching for meaning in all the wrong places, you decided to create your own. Every action you take, every choice you make, is a building block of meaning. The more you focus on actively creating your purpose, the more fulfilled and alive you'll feel, because you are the one giving life its true meaning. 2. Live as if you were already dead. Have you ever considered what it would be like to live as though you were already dead? At first, this may sound morbid or unsettling, but bear with me. The samurai practiced a powerful principle called dying before you die. This practice involves mentally accepting death every day, reflecting on the fleeting nature of life, and truly internalizing the fact that we are all inevitably mortal. Why would anyone choose to meditate on death? Because when you accept the reality of your own mortality, something powerful happens. Fear begins to lose its grip on you, and you start living with greater clarity, focus, and purpose. Most people live in constant fear of death, avoiding thinking about it or acting as though it will never come. This fear can keep us stuck in the status quo, afraid to take risks, afraid to be vulnerable, and often afraid to truly live. But the samurai understood something profound. When you realize that each moment could be your last, you stop wasting time. You stop letting fear hold you back. You start living every day as if it were your last. And in doing so, you begin to appreciate life in its rawest, most authentic form. When you accept death, you also accept the urgency of life. This isn't about being obsessed with an end, but about realizing that the time we have is precious, and it should be used wisely. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote often about the importance of reflecting on death and the impermanence of life. He wasn't morbid or pessimistic. He understood that contemplating death made every moment feel more significant. It reminded him that life is fleeting and that we shouldn't waste time on trivial matters, grudges, or distractions. Think about how different your life would be if you approached every moment with this awareness that nothing is guaranteed and the present moment is all you really have. Imagine the courage you'd have to pursue your passions, confront your fears, and make the most of every opportunity. This doesn't mean living recklessly or being consumed by the thought of death, but rather embracing the idea that because our time is limited, we should focus on what truly matters. When you live as if you were already dead, nothing holds you back. You free yourself from the fear of failure, judgment, and regret. So how can you start living as if you were already dead today? Begin by reflecting on your mortality regularly. Ask yourself, if I knew I had limited time, how would I spend it? What would I prioritize? What would I let go of? Challenge yourself to act with more urgency and purpose. Stop waiting for the perfect moment and start taking action now. Realize that every decision, every relationship, and every experience is a precious opportunity. Imagine today, instead of allowing fear to control your actions, you embrace the idea of living fully and fearlessly. You approached each moment with the understanding that time is precious, and you used it to focus on what truly matters. Whether it's pursuing your dreams, loving the people around you, or simply experiencing life as it comes. 3. Stop trying to escape. Immerse yourself in the chaos. How often do you find yourself escaping from life's challenges, whether it's through distractions, entertainment, or just retreating into your comfort zone? Whether it's binge-watching TV shows, endlessly scrolling through social media, or indulging in habits that numb your mind. Most people are in a constant state of escape. We run from the discomfort, the chaos, the uncertainty of life, believing that if we just distract ourselves enough, we'll be able to avoid the pain. But what if I told you that the true path to growth